Cool as you might think my life is, I have a recurring nightmare that I've had for 26 years. I'm somehow walking outside a stadium, a baseball stadium, and I can hear them announcing the starting lineup to a baseball game. I'm not kidding you. And I can hear the music playing and they say, leading off in center field, number 8. And I know it's me. I played center field here and I led off, right? Number 8, Eddie Milet. And I hear him yelling, but I can't get in the stadium. I'm like, I'm supposed to be playing, right? Like I'm supposed to be, and I cannot get in the door. Like I'm running around saying, look, I'm in my uniform. I'm in. They're like, we don't know who you are, man. I'm like, no, you need to let me in. They just announced me. I'm the starting center fielder, man. They're like, I'm sorry, man. We don't know who you are. You can't play. And then every single time I have the dream, I lap around the stadium trying to get back in to the game, except I can't get in. This is a true story. I'm 47 years old. I had this dream last month. I had it the month before that. I had it the month before that, okay? And then I wake up, and it's a nightmare. Every time I'm in the dream, I know I'm having it, but I can't get out of it. And the reason I have that dream is because I miss playing so much. And the real reason I have the dream is because when I was here, listen to me, okay? When I was here, I did not give it everything I had. Over and over and over again, you must be working on how great you think you are, what you're worthy of, what you deserve. Because you get out, the way you change your identity is this. You change your identity, listen to me on this, remember this when I leave. You change your identity because it's based on what you believe you're worth, what you believe you deserve. We take it more serious, we have more fun, we're laughing our asses off, but we are out working everybody in the conference, everybody in the country. We hit the gym that way, we stretch that way. You become a team nobody wants to play. Now, if you did that, you know what starts to happen to this team? You start to believe you deserve stuff you probably aren't good enough to get. You will literally win games you're not supposed to win. This team outworks everybody in their at-bat. They battle on every pitch when they're in the bat. I want you to think about that for a minute. I mean, what if you didn't give away a single freaking pitch all year batting? Not one dude. You grind every pitch, you battle every pitch. What if someone would have told me this when I was here? Battle every pitch, man. Every pitch is a fight. Every pitch is a battle. It's you, it's a team, but it's you and the dude with the wrong lid on the mound. Battle his ass. You're going to get what you're looking for. So if you're looking for success, you're looking for happiness, you're looking for prospects, you're looking for recruits or clients, I'm telling you, the more you're consciously looking for those things, you're going to see them. When you're looking to win, you're looking for victory. Same time, if you're looking to be victimized, if you're looking to be looked past, if you're looking to be small, if you're looking to be offended, you will find that constantly. And so be very careful what you set your mind towards, what your outcomes are, because you're going to find them. Your mind's powerful. You're powerful. You're more powerful than you think you are. And if you could just get clear on what you're looking for, get super specific with great clarity, great specificity about what it is you want, it's sitting there for you to find if you look for it. One of the things we have to do to create a new identity is to begin to tell a new story. What's your new story? Who are you now? What are you all about now? Where are you going now? What's this new version of you? See, here's what's amazing. At any point in your life, you can just decide to write a new script. You could decide to become a whole new character. See, the leading character in the story of your life is you. And guess what? You and God control the script. You could write a new script at any time you want. Listen to me. At any time you want, you can simply decide to be a new character. I'm strong now, I'm beautiful now, I'm handsome now, I'm bold now, I'm funny now, I'm smart now, I'm going there now. Stop telling the old story. Here's the truth, nobody cares. No one cares if you had a failure, no one cares if you've had a setback, no one cares if you had a victory, and none of those failures, none of those setbacks, none of those victories, and that old character you keep playing is the very thing that will prevent you from becoming this new version of you. It's a story if you're stuck. It's an old story you're telling with an old character that was last year's version, last decade's version. Who's the new character? What's the new script? What's the new story? Beliefs are so important to guard Because once you have a belief, your brain goes to work, and I've said this in another audio video, where your brain has to go to work to prove your beliefs to be true. Your brain literally goes to work on finding the evidence to prove you right. And so that identity, you're constantly reinforcing it. Let me give you an example of what I mean. If you believe a certain worth about yourself, a certain identity, that impacts the type of action you're willing to take. So if there's a goal you've got set, it doesn't matter what it is, pick a goal. To the extent that you believe it's consistent with your identity is to the extent that you will make an effort towards it. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, however, because what happens is if your identity is here and the goal is there, you will only make an effort congruent with what you believe you're worth. And so that limited effort you make produces the result not consistent, and it reinforces the belief. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you set a goal that is inconsistent with an identity you're working on. You will only make an effort consistent with the identity, which will get you to here, doesn't produce the result, and it reinforces this belief you have about yourself. So it's important as you set new goals, as you set new visions, that you also upgrade your identity simultaneously. You're in process of upgrading it, because that identity impacts the effort you make, right? Impacts the will you put towards it, and that will is reinforced by the lack of result, and so it becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy. So your mind has this belief it wants to prove to be true, and it starts to find references. So if you believe you're 75 degrees, it's going to start finding legs to put under that table to make it immobile so it can't move to prove you right. And so our identity equals our effort, and the challenge is that effort produces the result. And so this identity has everything to do with the effort you make, which produces the result, which will reinforce the identity or the lack thereof. So it's critical that you upgrade identity with your new visions and goals. I don't really believe in this mentor stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't know that I buy into that. Like I don't think I influence you by you necessarily asking me questions and I answer them. Don't you find that too? Like almost sometimes people that want you to mentor them, they're almost interviewing you. And I think that's almost like a school teacher. So if you look at your kids, the people that influence them, their teachers influence them to a degree. That's like a mentor, right? Because they shape them and mold them, and there's influence there. But who do you really worry about? You worry about who their friends are. Because their friends, you show me their friends, I'll pretty much tell you who's influencing them. So I think what I do a decent job of is when I do get to know these folks, I don't treat them like they're some God figure, or they're any different than me or any better than me. I treat them like a friend. And I want to make them my friend.
You're talking about people that maybe have achieved something in a space above you.
They're constantly, Donovan was on your program earlier, he'll tell you, people constantly, when you're in that environment, treat you as if you're different than them or better than them. There's a million people like that. They're not any better than you. They haven't have a blessing and a skill or a set of facts and knowledge that's ahead of you. So make them your friend. That's how, like you and I, we're becoming friends. The way you're going to influence me, I'm going to have influence over you. We're going to have an interview today. We're going to learn some things, but really is our friendship, just associating, just being around each other. So I think probably the biggest thing is I've made them my real friends. Okay.
You want to know the truth? If you're going to have a long-term relationship with somebody, this is something people don't talk about ever, but I'll say it. You better stay attracted to them. You better have physical intimacy with them. And if you don't maintain that part of your relationship, like you keep dating, like, man, you start keeping it spicy all the time, physically, I'm talking about. What starts to happen over time is you start living with just your friend. And in most relationships, I have a lot of friends. I don't want to lay next to them every single night. Right? I got a bunch of really good friends that are male and female, and I don't want to be married to them. And if you allow your spouse to turn into just your friend, that you lose that intimacy, that physical connection. One of the keys, I would say, is I'm super attracted to her still. And I think she's incredibly for no reason whatsoever, miraculously attracted to me still. And so I think that's one part of your evaluation. How often do you touch each other? Do you hold each other's hands? At different stages of your relationship, physical intimacy can look different ways. I doubt at 80 years old, we're going to be doing what we do now, but I'm going to be dancing with her in the living room, I hope. When I was dating her, man, interesting thing. It was hard because her parents had a great marriage. It was their second marriage, which usually those are great, sometimes better because you figure stuff out, right? But every time I go pick her up for a date, not every time, that's not true, many times, when you'd walk up to her front door, you could see in their living room. And I get emotional even saying this, but I would walk up to the front door and I'd expect it almost after a while. I'd see Howard and Patricia, her mom and dad, slow dancing in the living room. And there's just music on, no TV. They would just dance together, slow. And I don't know what they were doing after that. I don't want to know. But the point I'm making to you is they kept it romantic. They kept physical intimacy in their relationship. And he was in his 70s and she was in her 60s. but they kept that going. It was such a good example for me because my parents, who were very much in love, never touched each other. I never saw them say, I love you. They weren't physical at all around us and didn't even touch us very often. I'm real conscious of always touching my kids and hugging them and always making sure they feel me. And so I think that's been one of the foundations of our deal. We do a date night once a week. So we're actually out doing something. And, we're very, very different people. She doesn't have an ambitious bone in her body, no achievement. She could have any clothing she wants. She wears jeans and a t-shirt. There's nothing about her that's that way, but she believes in me. She believes in me. And that's, people can love you and not really believe in you.
Yeah.
She believes in me. And that's always given me strength and confidence throughout all of our ups and downs or whatever they are. I feel like that's one of the great gifts is her belief in me.